friends, this is Priyanka. Today we are going to study the derivation for the Holzer's method in the spring and mass system. So what is the principle of the Holzer's method? That is the summation of all inertia forces is equal to 0. So in this derivation of the Holzer's method, we have to show that for this given system, that in this system here are three masses M1, M2, M3, and these masses are attached with the spring having stiffness K1 and K2. So in this video we have to show that the inertia forces are always related to these masses, that is sum of all inertia forces is equal to 0. So let us move for the derivation. So according to the principle of Holzer's method, sum of all inertia forces is equal to 0, and we are going to prove this in this derivation of the Holzer's method. So what is the first step? So first step is to find out the inertia forces in the system. So if we observe this system, here are 1, 2 and 3 masses and which are attached with this spring having stiffness K1 and K2. So we have to first find out the inertia forces in this given system. So there are 3 number of masses. So there are 3 inertia forces that are related to mass M1, mass M2 and mass M3. So if we observe this system here, for mass M1 having displacement x1, mass M2 is having displacement x2 and mass M3 is having displacement x3. Now all the direction for this displacement are given to the right hand direction. So the system is moving towards this right hand direction. So the system movement is towards the right hand direction. Now we have to assume here that x1 is less than x2 and x2 is less than x3. So this is our first assumption to derive this derivation. So we have to write assume x1 is less than x2 is less than x3. Now we will first find out what is the inertia force at mass m1. So if we observe this mass m1, it is attached to the spring with stiffness k1. Now this spring is on the right hand direction of this mass m1 and system movement is towards the right hand direction. So how we will write this inertia force at m1? So what is the inertia force? That is the m1 x double dot, that is here is the displacement. So we have to take the double derivation of this displacement x. So we have to write here inertia force, that is m1 x double dot, that is here instead of x we have to write here x1 because the displacement of this m1 is x1. M1 x double dot. Now it is attached with the spring having stiffness K1. So what is the spring force? Now if we observe this spring, it is attached to this mass M1 as well as mass M2 having displacement x1 and x2. So spring force, that is K, spring stiffness K multiplied by x. So here we have to take this K1, so which is equal to K1, and we have to take difference of this displacement, that is x2 minus x1. Now here as per our assumption x2 is greater than x1, so we are going to write x2 minus x1. So this is the inertia force at m1. Now here we have to take positive sign because the spring is on the right hand direction of this mass m1. Now we will move for the next. Now inertia force at m2. So if we observe here for m2 the displacement is x2. So how we are going to write this inertia force? That is m2 x2 double dot. That is the double derivation of this displacement x2, which is equal to, now we have to write the spring force. So if we observe for this mass m2 on the right hand direction, spring K2 is there, and on the left hand direction spring K1 is there. So system is moving on the towards the right hand direction, but here the spring force is on the left hand direction, that is in the opposite direction. So here we have to give for this spring force K1, we have to give the negative sign. So what will be our right hand side? So we will take here as minus K1 multiplied by, now it is attached to mass m1 and m2, so we will take the difference in between two displacement, that is x2 minus x1. Now this spring is on the right hand side having stiffness K2, so we will take here plus K2, and it is attached to the two masses having displacement x3 and x2, so we will write here x3 minus x2. Now we will move for the third, that is the inertia force at mass m3. So here m3 is having displacement x3, so inertia force m3 x3 double dot, which is equal to, now here spring having stiffness K2 is on the left hand direction, that is on the opposite side of this system movement, so we have to take here negative sign. And what is spring force? That is having stiffness multiplied by displacement, so this is K2 is the stiffness and displacement is x3 minus x2. So in this way these are our equations. So we will say here this is the equation number 1, that is for inertia force at mass m1. For mass m2 we will say here equation number 2, and for mass m3 we will say here equation number 3. Now if we observe the response of masses are harmonic, so we can write here xi is equal to xi sin omega t. So what is this x? X, that is the displacement, and here I, that is there is the numbers for the masses, that is 1, 2, 3. There will be n number of masses, so I will vary up to, depends on the number of masses. But if we observe this equation here on the left hand side, here is the double derivation for this displacement. So we will take here also the double derivation. First we will take xi dot, which is equal to xi. Now here sin omega t, what is the derivation? Cos omega t into omega. Now again xi double dot, then again we will take here xi. Now cos omega t, that is minus sin omega t into omega, and again this is previous omega, that will become omega square. So here we can write here xi double dot is equal to minus xi sin of omega t omega square. So we can put this value on this equation. So here instead of x1 and x2 we also put the x sin omega t. Now here I means there will be 1, 2, 3. So instead of x1 we have to write here, if here is the x2, then how we will write here x2 sin omega t. If there are x3, then we will write here x3 sin omega t. Now instead of I, we have to give the numbers. So we will write again these three equations. So we will write this inertia force at m1. So we will write m1. Now here instead of x1 double dot, so xi double dot, here is, you have to write here minus. Now here x1, so we will write x1 sin of omega t into omega square. So this is the left hand direction, which is equal to, now here k1 x2 minus x1. So we will write k1. So what is the value of x2? That is x2 sin omega t. And minus x1, that is x1 sin omega t. Now again we will write the second equation, that is m2. Now for the m2 here is minus xi sin omega t omega square. So instead of x2 we will write here minus x2 sin of omega t into omega square, which is equal to, we will write this right hand direction. So here will be minus k1. Now here instead of x2 minus x1 we will write here x2 sin omega t minus x1 sin of omega t, and here plus k2 in the bracket x3 minus x2. So x3, that is x3 cos x3 sin omega t, x3 sin omega t minus x2 sin omega t. Now we will write again this third equation. So m3, so minus, so m3 means m3 and x3 double dot, here minus x3 sin of omega t into omega square, which is equal to, now we have to write this minus k2 x3 minus x2, that is x3, that is x3 sin omega t minus x2 sin of omega t. So these are the three equations that we have converted into the harmonic equation. Now if we have to take, or we have to prove the sum of all inertia forces is equal to 0. So if we observe on the left hand side, these are the inertia forces that are related to this system. So if we take this summation for all these inertia forces, then what will be the equation? So if we observe, here is the k1 x2 sin omega t minus x1 sin omega t, and if we take summation, so if we add these three equations on the right hand side, then here is the minus k1 x2 sin omega t minus x1 sin omega t. That means these two are getting cancelled. Now remaining here, that is plus k2 x3 sin omega t minus x2 sin omega t, and here is the minus k2 x3 sin omega t minus x2 sin omega t. Then again these two will be cancelled. So if we take here the summation, so we will take here summation. So I am taking here the minus sign outside the bracket. So what will be there? That is m1 x1 sin of omega t omega square plus m2 x2 sin of omega t omega square plus m3 x3 sin of omega t omega square is equal to 0. Now if we take here, what is the common? That is sin of omega t omega square is common. So we will take here minus sin of omega t omega square in the bracket m1 x1 plus m2 x2 plus m3 x3 bracket complete, which is equal to. Now we can modify this equation, that is here minus sin of omega t we will transfer to the right hand side. So what is the remaining? That is m1 x1 omega square plus m2 x2 omega square plus m3 x3 omega square is equal to 0. So how we can write here? That is the summation of mi xi omega square, which is equal to 0. Here what is the I? That is here there are 3 number of masses. So we can write here where I is equal to 1, 2, 3. So these are the limitations. So we can write this. So this is the derivation for the Holzer's method for the spring and mass system, and this is the formula.